Hello everyone, introduce us from Group Do with the name of group is Seti Ananda Arianti, Clara Claresta Yanuarti, Arelia Sananta, and Indira Junior Patikasari. And here we will present about the material consumption, saving, and investment. What is consumption? Consumption is an activity that aims to reduce or deplete the usability of an object either in the form of goods or service to meet needs and direct satisfaction. Consumers are users of goods and or service. Factor affecting consumption level economic is 1. Income, 2. Household wealth, 3. Interest rate, 4. Household expectation about the future. And the non-economic factor is 1. Distribution of national income, 2. The amount of public wealth in the form of liquid asset, 3. The number of durable consumer goods in society, 4. Reduced public consumption expenditure, 5. Increased spending for consumption, 6. Consumer goods used for a long time are generally expensive. 7. Company financial policy. 8. Company corporate wisdom in marketing. 9. People production of change in the price level. Consumption function is C equal A plus B Y, where A is household consumption when the national income is 0, B is the marginal consumption trend, C the level of consumption, Y the level of national income. And then here is a picture of the curve, the relationship between consumption level with national income. Example question: if the consumption function is solved by the equation C equal 15 plus 0.75 YD, the disposable income is 30 billion. 1. What is the value of aggregate consumption? 2. How big is the balance of national income? Answer? The answer can be reached, friend. Marginal propensity to consume, or MPC. The definition of MPC is the ratio on the increase in consumption to the increase in disposable income. MPC describes how big the tendency of change in consumption as a result of change in income. MPC can be formulated as MPC equal delta C divided delta YD, where MPC is marginal propensity to consume, delta C is change in consumption, delta YD is change in income. To be able to understand the concept of MPC more deeply, consider the illustration example of MPC calculation in the following table. Calculating the value of delta C equals C4 minus C3. Delta C equal 1,500,000 minus 1,200,000 equal 300,000. And then calculating the value of YD. YD equal YD4 minus YD3. YD4 equal 1,500,000 minus 1,000,000. YD equal 500,000. And then calculating the value MPC. MPC equals C divided YD. MPC equal 300,000 divided 500,000. MPC is 0.6. The MPC value is between 0 and 1. When MPC is 0, it means that there is no change in consumption even though income change. Conversely, if the MPC is 1, it means that the entire increase received in use to increase consumption by the change in income. In the example calculation above, the MPC value is 0.6. This means that with an increase in income, if 500,000, so 300,000 is used as additional consumption. Average propensity to consume, or APC. APC describes the average level of consumption, where the level of consumption is compared to the level of disposable income. APC can be formulated as APC equals C divided YD, where APC is average propensity to consume, delta C is change in consumption, delta YD is change in income. By using this formula, the result of calculating the APC value looks like the result in the table above. For example, as in the far line, the consumption is 1,500,000 and the disposable income obtained is also 1,500,000, so that the APC value is 1.
So the first one, I'm gonna talk about consumption function calculation. The next slide, I have formula for consumption function, and I'm gonna talk about and read it in Bahasa Indonesia so you can fully understand it. So there are description about this formula to help you understand. C sama dengan konsumsi, A sama dengan APC atau average propensity of consume, dikurangi MPC marginal propensity to consume dikali Y. Jadi A itu adalah konsumsi autonomous, B itu adalah marginal propensity to consume atau MPC, yaitu delta C dibagi delta Y. APC yaitu average propensity to consume, yaitu dengan cara C dibagi Y. Di sini Y sama dengan pendapatan nasional dan YD sama dengan pendapatan disposable. Oke, jadi ada beberapa contoh soal di sini. There are few of problem examples. I'm gonna read it in Bahasa Indonesia. Diketahui fungsi konsumsi C sama dengan 40 plus 0,8 Y. Ditanya keseimbangan pendapatannya, yaitu keseimbangan pendapatan adalah besarnya pendapatan sama dengan besarnya konsumsi atau Y sama dengan C. Berdasarkan formula yang sudah kita bahas sebelumnya, based on the formula that we have talked about before, consumption function formula, C sama dengan A plus BY. So, oke, Y sama dengan C, jadi di sini Y sama dengan 40 plus 0,8 Y. Y min 0,8 Y sama dengan 40, kemudian di bawahnya 0,2 Y sama dengan 40, jadi Y sama dengan 40 dibagi 0,2 dipindah ruas sama dengan 200. Jadi keseimbangan pendapatannya pada soal ini yaitu adalah 200 dan jawabannya adalah yang B. Kemudian saya mempunyai contoh soal kedua untuk membantu kalian to help you understand this chapter well. So, Rudy seorang tamatan SMA pada saat bekerja jumlah penghasilannya Rp1.500.000. Untuk konsumsinya sebesar Rp1.500.000. Jika penghasilannya naik menjadi Rp2.500.000 sebulan, jumlah konsumsinya menjadi Rp2.000.000. Nah, berdasarkan ilustrasi tersebut, based on the illustration, so how to find the consumption function based on this illustration? Jadi, ada beberapa komponen pada soal ini yang kita ketahui, yaitu ada APC sama dengan C dibagi Y, yaitu di sini C-nya sebesar 2 juta dibagi dengan Y-nya sebesar 2,5 juta. Jadi hasilnya adalah 0,8. Kemudian yang B sama dengan MPC, yaitu delta C dibagi delta Y. Sesuai yang diketahui, hasil dari B adalah 0,5. Kemudian yang Y di sini diketahui bahwa Y-nya adalah 2,5 juta. Jadi how to find the consumption function? So, based on the formula that we have talked about before, the formula is C sama dengan A plus BY. Jadi kita masukkan C sama dengan APC minus MPC dikali Y plus BY. Jadi APC-nya 0,8, MPC-nya 0,5, Y-nya 2,5 juta dan B-nya 0,5 Y. Kita kalkulasi menjadi hasilnya C sama dengan 750 plus 0,5Y? The answer of this question is D. C sama dengan 750 plus 0,5Y. Okay, consumption function curve. So there are several criteria for consumption function curve. So the first one, the consumption curve has a positive slope. In bahasa Indonesia, kurva konsumsi memiliki slope atau kemiringan positif. Jadi artinya, the second one, the consumption curve intersects the z-axis above zero. Or in bahasa Indonesia, kurva konsumsi memotong sumbu C di atas 0. This means, walaupun pendapatan 0, konsumsinya masih positif. For example, unemployed, children, people who are old and have no income, continue to consume even though they have no income. And the last one, consumption cannot be zero. Konsumsi tidak dapat atau tidak boleh 0. This means, artinya, even though if you have no income, you still have to consume it, either by borrowing or withdrawing your savings. Yaitu, walau dengan jalan meminjam atau menarik tabungan, kamu harus tetap melakukan konsumsi. Okay, so this is example of consumption function curve. You can see it by the picture. Okay, next one. What is savings? Apa itu tabungan? So basically savings is all about money saved. Pada dasarnya, tabungan adalah uang yang disimpan. So savings is the balance that remains after meeting of the consumption needs of an individual. So savings money can be used and withdrawn at any time for any need without being bound by agreement or time, because it is personal. That's why we call it an individual unspent earnings. So why we need savings and why is savings so important? Savings can be as simple as keeping aside money on a monthly basis or even investing small amounts on a monthly basis. So why is it so important? Savings can help in meeting financial commitments at a future date. For example, if you want to buy a house, then the savings will be so valuable for you in the future. Okay, factor that affecting savings. There are several factors that affect the level of savings, including the first one, we have household income atau pendapatan rumah tangga. So, in general, pada umumnya, the higher the income, semakin tinggi pendapatan, if followed by economized lifestyle, sikap berhemat, maka akan memperbesar tingkat tabungan. It will increase the level of savings. Nah, di beberapa negara maju, in developed countries with high per capita income, the tendency to consume is getting lower, so the saving rate will be higher. Second one, we have interest rate atau tingkat bunga. Oke, tingkat bunga yang tinggi ialah merupakan faktor yang menarik bagi individual or society to increase the amount of their savings. So they expect to get income in the form of higher interest with the greater the value of their savings. So mereka berharap bahwa pendapatan yang mereka peroleh itu memiliki bunga yang lebih tinggi sehingga semakin besar nilai tabungan yang dimiliki. The third one, we have economist lifestyle or sikap berhemat. So, this economist lifestyle towards consumption, jadi sikap berhemat terhadap konsumsi yang diikuti oleh kegemaran menabung akan memperbesar jumlah tabungan. So will increase the amount of savings. If the amount of savings increases as a whole, it will increase the value of national investment. The next one, we have income distribution or distribusi pendapatan. So, income distribution merupakan bagian pendapatan secara merata sesuai abilities and capacities of individuals. So, Equitable access to resources will increase people's per capita income, so that the higher the income, the higher the savings rate is expected. The last one, we have economic conditions atau kondisi perekonomian. So why this is a factor that affecting savings? Improving economic condition will increase people's per capita income, and an improving economy will increase the amount of savings because income increases.
Saving function. Saving function is a function that describes the relationship between the level of household saving and national income in an economy. EPS and MPS. EPS is average propensity to consume. EPS, or the average propensity to consume, is the ratio between total savings and total income. The formula is EPS S per Y. For the details, S means total savings and Y is total income. MPS, or marginal propensity to save. The MPS shows the additional save due to an increased income that's not consumed. Therefore, the sum of the marginal propensity to consume, or MPC, and MPS is equal to 1. MPC per MPS is 1, or MPS is 1 min MPC. The marginal propensity to save, or MPS, can be formulated as follows. MPS is delta S per delta Y. Delta S is difference between current and previous savings rates, and delta Y is difference between current and previous income. So here's the example question for MPS. The question is, the consumption function is C 200 plus 0.8y. Then the marginal propensity to save MPS is, it is known that MPC is 0.8. Then MPS is 1 min MPC. So MPS is 1 min 0.8, and then the MPS is 0.2. So the marginal propensity to save, or MPS, is 0.2. Next is saving function calculation. The equation can be formulated as, so there's 4 options for this formula. One of them is S min A plus 1 min B YD. The description: S is called savings, A is called negative saving if income is equal to 0, 1 min B is referred to as marginal propensity to save, or MPS. YD is called expendable income. Example question. Mr. Mardan has an initial income of IDR 1 million. With the consumption function, C is 150,000 plus 0.70y. When his income increased to 3,500,000,000 rupiah, the amount of Mr. Mardan's savings is, for the question, the formula that we use is YC plus S. So the result is S equal to 900,000. Saving curve. Here's the saving function curve. The savings curve contains several important things as follows. The savings curve has a positive slope. The greater the income, the greater the money that will be saved. Point min A, the amount of savings is negative because the prevailing level of consumption is autonomous consumption, or consumption that is financed not from income but from other sources such as loans. At point M, it looks like S equal to 0. It means that all income is used up for consumption. The line on the right point M indicates savings has a positive value. The relation between MPC and MPS. MPC is a change in consumption as a result of change in income, while MPS is a person's desire to save. So, the relationship between MPC and MPS is a unity function between consumption and all the factors that cause the amount of consumption. Relationship between MPC and MPS is the consumption function is a function that describes the relationship between the level of household consumption and national income in an economy.
Okay, next material is investment. Let's get to know about investment. First, what is investment? Basically, in general, investment is an investment activity to get profits in the future. In the word saying, capital is not only money but also other resources. Okay, next is factors that affect investment. First, the effect of exchange rate, the effect of interest rate, the effect of the inflation rate, the effect of infrastructure, technology progress, and then the level of national income, future economic prospect, and the stability of the country's economy, the expected rate of return. Last is investment cost. Okay, next is investment function. Demand of investiture is inversely proportional to interest rate. The formula is I equal F multiply E, and then I equal IO minus P multiply I, where IO is autonomous investment, I interest rate, P proportion I to interest rate. Okay, and next is investment demand curve. The investment demand curve for the economy is obtained by adding up the investment of all firms at each interest rate. At a lower interest rate, more investment projects are profitable for each company, so the total investment spending in the economy increases. Along the investment demand curve, assume contains our business expectation about the economy. As firms become more optimistic about the prospect of making a profit, investment demand rises and the curve shifts to the right. Okay, I think that's all about the investment. I hope you understand, and don't forget to still learning this material. Thank you.